A woman named Iris wakes up one morning and decides to go to the forest, bringing along her son's toy and a knife. She heads to the same place where her son Mateo had passed away. Depressed and traumatized by what happened, Iris decides to take her own life by jumping off the cliff. At that moment, a man named Richard arrives. Seeing what Iris is about to do, he tries to talk her out of it, explaining that he understands what she's going through because he also lost a loved one, a woman named Chloe.
Sorry.
Iris opens up to him and shares that her son died after slipping off the cliff during a family outing. Richard manages to stop Iris from jumping, and the two walk back to their cars. Everything seems normal, but just as they're about to leave, Richard, who reveals that isn't his real name, attacks Iris with a stun gun. And so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie. He grabs and ties her up to kidnap her. Iris wakes up terrified, trying to call for help with her watch, but there's no signal in this part of the forest. She tries to free herself with the knife she had in her pocket while talking to the man, who will keep calling Richard since the psycho doesn't reveal his real name. He tells her he's taking her to his cabin in the forest, but just then, Iris manages to free herself and attacks him, causing the car to crash. Iris tries to strangle him with the seatbelt, but he breaks free and grabs her. But don't worry, she grabs her knife again and cuts the bindings on her legs. You'd think now she'd escape the psycho.
That's good.
But no.
That's bad.
Richard tells her he injected her with a paralytic that will activate gradually in 20 minutes.
What the hell?
At the 10-minute mark, her legs will start tingling. In 15 minutes, they won't respond. In 18 minutes, breathing will become difficult. And just before full paralysis, she won't even be able to speak. Iris runs into the forest, dropping the knife. Richard warns her that if she runs, the drug will activate faster. But Iris doesn't care and tries to escape. At that moment, as she tries to move her fingers, Iris remembers her son. Richard, calmly chasing her, tells her that the paralytic lasts about an hour. Iris is already starting to feel its effects, making it hard to move her fingers or legs. She keeps walking as best as she can while Richard whistles calmly, knowing she'll soon be paralyzed. She hides under a tree, but then ants start crawling all over her body. Unable to bear it, she screams and drags herself to the river. Richard hears her but can't reach her. Iris escapes for now, and unable to swim, she lets the river's current carry her to solid ground. She has 10 minutes left. Her breathing is slowing, and she can barely move. She spends the remaining 10 minutes there, unable to do anything. Just then, she sees a man mowing the grass. Since she can't speak, she says nothing, but the man sees her. The man tries to help her but realizes she can't move or speak, only move her eyes and blink. Realizing this, he communicates with her through blinks, 1 for yes, 2 for no. The man finds a wheelbarrow and takes her to his cabin. Just then, someone knocks on the door, and Iris blinks repeatedly to warn him not to open it, but the man opens the door anyway.
Are you stupid or something?
Naturally, it's Richard, who pretends Iris is his missing wife. The man offers to call for help, but Richard barges in, desperate to find Iris. He cries like the tremendous actor psycho he is. Now he says his name is Andrew. The man hid Iris before Richard came in. Richard keeps lying, trying to get the man to fall into his trap. Just as the man is about to reveal where Iris is, Richard's phone rings, the phone he said he'd lost.
You said you lost your phone. Did I?
Gotcha, bitch!
Realizing he's been caught lying, the man gets up to call the authorities, but then Richard calls him by name, Bill.
How do you know my name?
I read it on your mail.
I don't believe you.
Seeing that the old man knows he's lying, Richard demands to know where the girl is. The old man lies, saying she's in the shed. Richard, not buying it, asks for the phone to make sure he won't call anyone, but in that moment, the old man seizes the opportunity to attack. He grabs the phone and calls the police, but Richard attacks him. He may look like a helpless old man, but don't be fooled, he can fight.
My man!
Unfortunately, Richard grabs a knife and stabs him in the ankle, then finishes him off for good. You did what you could, old man. You died a hero. On the phone, the police are heard saying they're on their way, which enrages Richard. He searches for Iris in the shed, and when he doesn't find her, he says, "You know what? Screw it. I'll burn everything." Meanwhile, we see that Iris is slowly recovering from the effects of the paralytic. She uses her finger to make her presence known to Richard, but he doesn't hear a thing, so he sets the place on fire. Just as he's about to leave, Iris manages to move the blinds on the window, catching Richard's attention. Richard saves her. Well, not really, as he kidnaps her again and puts her in the old man's truck. On the way, he tells her that she made him kill a man, something he had never done before.
I don't believe you.
Just then, his daughter and wife call him, letting him know they're going to his cabin, which enrages Richard because he's obviously a bit busy doing shady things. Noticing that he's running low on fuel, he stops at a gas station. Meanwhile, we see emergency services and firefighters heading to the cabin Richard set on fire. While the psychopath, Iris tries to unbuckle her seatbelt and succeeds. A boy who reminds her of her son approaches. If you think he'll help, he won't. His mother arrives, grabs him, and they leave. Richard returns and takes her to the spot where they crashed his car to retrieve his belongings, including more paralytic just in case. Just as he's about to tow his car, a police officer arrives. The woman at the gas station, sensing something strange, reported the truck. The officer says he wants to speak with Richard's wife, but Richard claims she's drunk and that's why she crashed. Liar! Iris opens the window. The officer doesn't buy Richard's story. He approaches Iris, who slowly and faintly asks for help. When the officer realizes the truth, Richard attacks him. He puts the officer in his car and steals his gun. Before leaving, he douses the car with gasoline and burns it, along with the officer inside.
Come on, man.
It seems poor Iris has no escape, but wait a minute, it seems that Iris stole the syringe. She surely has a plan. Let her cook. Iris slowly regains her speech and tries to get Richard to leave her alone by appealing to his traumas and family, which only makes him angrier and leads him to take her to a dock. At the dock, Iris seizes the chance to inject him, but fails to insert the serum. Richard grabs a knife and drags Iris to the dock, intending to throw her into the lake. She begins to cry, realizing there's nothing she can do, and asks Richard to hand her Mateo's toy from her bag. At that moment, she takes advantage and attacks him with the knife she grabbed. No idea how she did it, but she's the GOAT. She manages to throw him into the lake and shoots him with the gun Richard dropped. Injured, Richard swims to the shore. Iris is relieved that she defeated him, but unfortunately, she also shot the boat, so it begins to sink.
Aw, for the love of crud!
A big F for Iris. You fought like a champ. No, hold those FS because Iris, with her mobility recovered, manages to escape the lake. But sadly, Richard also reaches the shore. Iris finds him injured and dying. Before watching him die, she thanks him because, in her struggle to escape, she's rediscovered her will to live. And that's how the movie ends. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.